Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to Look Back. This is a show where I do look backs at reviews that I did 1, 5, 10, and 20 years ago this week. And I tell you what I think about them, if I think about them at all. So let's go back to 20 years ago. Just one game today, and that is Anagrammania. It's as fun as it sounds. Actually, it's not bad, but you need to like anagrams. If you don't like anagrams, you're not going to enjoy this one. 6 out of 10. 10 years ago, I reviewed a game called Spurs, A Tale in the Old West, and man, did I ever want to like this game. And it's not a terrible game. It is a sandbox game set in the West, where you're pulling bullets from a bag, kind of as a push-your-luck type aspect, and you can go around, and all kinds of things you can do. Sounds familiar? Well, yes, because Western Legends came out and just blew this game out of the water. The components weren't great anyway, which is why it wasn't super high on my list, but it's a 6 now. Heroes of Normandy. This is an interesting game where it's basically a miniatures game, but you're using counters instead of miniatures. I enjoy it. 7 out of 10. Legendary Marvel deck building game Villains. Now, this never really took off. I think there was one expansion for it. There might be more, where they took the legendary deck building game and spun it on its head. Now you're the villains playing against heroes as the evil masterminds. And it was compatible, and it's fine. I mean, it's good. I gave it an 8 out of 10. But what's really interesting about this one was that it had a playmat included in the box. And if I recall correctly, this is one of the first times this was included in the game. And I was like, wow, I hope more games do this. I also did like that this box, because it was a villain against good guys, it would let you pretend some good guys went evil. Like, oh, Professor X is now of evil mastermind, let's send the Avengers out to stop him. Stuff like that. All right, 5 years ago I reviewed Among Thieves. This was, I believe, an award-winning game from a contest from Indie Boards and Cards. It wasn't very good. 5 out of 10. Valdorian Gardens. This is from City of Games, best known for Isle of Cats. This came out before Isle of Cats and did not really endear me to their company. I was like, I just found this game to be not so interesting, a 5.5. Tour Operator. This is about creating vacations, organizing someone's tour, which isn't particularly fun in real life. I guess some people like it. This game was just shy of what I want it to be. Some neat ideas, though, 6.5. Kushi Express. So you might be wondering what Kushi Express is, and I am also wondering what Kushi Express is, because for some reason it has slipped my mind. It's about making sushi. I guess that makes sense given the title of the name. Anyhow, this one I gave a 7 to, but as you can see, probably a little forgettable. Time Stories, the final review. Okay, so Time Stories is still a good game. I'm still giving it a 7, but you can see it was a 10. But the last expansion was so bad and so disappointing and so soul-crushing that it kind of took the wind out of the game as a whole. It's kind of like, when you see the final episode of a TV series, say Game of Thrones. It doesn't necessarily negate the first ones, but makes them not as good. Tiki, this is an interesting two-player abstract strategy game with some really nice pieces, 7.5. 10 Days in the USA. Think, you're flipping cards around. This was actually a remake of an old game from Out of the Box Publishing. But this Racco-esque game, a lot of fun. And this one, I believe, from Broadway Games, 8 out of 10. Cupcake Empire. This game is still in the Dice Tower library because I think most people haven't played it. A nice little light but interesting economic game with dice and some cool little cupcake houses. 8 out of 10. And Master of Respect. This game kind of really came out of nowhere, surprised me how much I enjoyed it. You're running a dojo and getting your people ready to go into a tournament and just using the special abilities on the different characters and working back and forth. It's a unique, fun game. Definitely worth checking out. 8.5. All right, last year I reviewed The Number. This is from Repos Publishing, and it's a weird number-esque game that I played multiple times thinking there's got to be something more into this game, and there's not. 5 out of 10. Peanut Butter Belly Time. Is it Peanut Butter Jelly Time or Belly Time? Either way, it doesn't matter. It is a fun little game that I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed. 7 out of 10. Cosmoctopus. This was supposed to be poised, I think, as a big, giant release from Lucky Ducks, and it did really well for a while, although a lot of people haven't talked about it. But a nice little card collecting, engine building, think Splendor type game with a fun theme. I mean, Cthulhu's kind of overdone, but this is done in a nice 1950s style. 8 out of 10. Ancient Knowledge. This one from Yellow. Man, I'm tempted to move this an 8.5. I really do enjoy this engine building game, as you have different technologies that are slowly getting lost in the annals of time, and you don't want to lose knowledge. An 8 out of 10. And World Wonders. Wow. When I first played this game, I was just blown away. I contacted Arcane Wonders and said, there's got to be a Dice Tower Essential. And they said, hey, we already picked it up. I was like, well, what do you know? Great game. Polyomino game. Wooden pieces for the monuments. It just looks gorgeous, and it does a lot with a little. Very impressive. 9 out of 10. And those are the games that I reviewed 1, 5, 10, and 20 years ago. Thanks for watching. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you, and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vasel.